Cioè, hai visto che hai visto la transizione? Ma che cazzo parla a fare? Ah, vabbè. Ah sì, buongiorno. Scusate il ritardo, però stava streamando Luca, quindi ho detto, vabbè, finisce Luca. Ah sì, vabbè, stava riprendendo la musica perché. Ma la fai rivedere? Ah, no, la transizione perché era appena finita la musica, ma è questa la transizione. Non è che. Non perché era particolarmente bella. Cioè, sta ripartendo perché era il tema principale. Si vede? Ok, ottimo. Boh. Ehm, Comunque l'ha avuto discorsi. No, no, ma guarda che io Vampyr. Te lo lascia di Borderless? Buono. Io Vampyr lo giocai sul Game Pass. Mi era piaciuto un sacco Vampyr. E io perché l'avevo droppato? Perché crashava in continuazione. Visto che sul Game Pass non posso modificare i file, ho detto lascio stare. Quindi lo sto riportando. E il gioco merita. Cioè, non è un mio dio capolavoro, però fa il suo lavoro. Oh, no, c'è un normale, dai. Sì, sì, perché questo è come è stato pensato il gioco, quindi famo normale. In questo gioco. Praticamente non so se lo sai, ma la particolarità di Vampir è che tu all'inizio vai sali di livello di qua di là, ma per salire di livello non è che devi, che ne so, uccidere nemici o fare le missioni, ma devi uccidere i cittadini, abbracciare per l'esattezza. Ehm, Lo so, lo so. Praticamente più gente uccidi, più sei forte. Però devi controbattere perché arriva tipo dei ratti, non so, non mi ricordo bene. La musica è bella, però, molto carina. Oh, ah, se faccio ok. Se faccio ESC viene menu. Strano? Ah, c'ho giocato a Vampir. Pending, mamma mia. Che edgelord, che edgelord. Punishment. Ancora mi ricordo che si alza. Non mi ricordo però. Cioè non era morto, no. Ora mi ricordo che succede. Ah già. Vado a mangiare brr. Ok, alla prossima. Cioè, dopo. Ah, già mi ricordo la telecamera che era un po'. Posso correre? Ah no. Ok, quello è il mio target. Sembra una donna. Smenata.
Mary! Oh, no. Mary!
Sto babbo ha ucciso sua sorella.
Hold on. Please, hold on.
E la cosa ironica che il protagonista è un dottore, quindi cioè può prendere e può togliere vite. Cioè, in realtà prendere e togliere è la stessa cosa, però avete capito. Sedge. Ora arrivano i vermin.
It's a night. No! Please, a moment, let me explain.
Get down. Diciamo già quel salto è abbastanza.
These patrols are after me.
Sorprende che sia
No, don't shoot.
a dei frame decenti.
This is a nightmare.
Gioco c'era il roll.
I need...
Però non c'è un modo per mettere lo shift permanente, altrimenti mi viene un. Dai? Cioè scusa, per la camminata c'è attiva e disattiva, ma per correre c'è solo il tieni premuto. Ah,
Get out of here.
vabbè. Buongiorno master.
This can't be happening.
Cioè sono le una, quindi è il buon pomeriggio, però insomma hai capito. Oh.
Please, stop. I mean you no harm.
A bloody vampire. No, compare l'asterisco su Streamlabs. Comunque sì, un po' là, anche un po' sta scassando cazzo sto gioco. Diciamo tutto basso in caso. Davvero barbone. E qualità effetti era bassa. Come and get me. Or come and get me. Oh, sai che. Solo che mi intrattieni, insomma, non è che io sia proprio il massimo dell'intrattenimento, però.
Shit, where'd it go?
Si ha un'arma. Ah, dovevo spaccare.
I can defend myself.
Oh mio dio, what? Cazzo di scatti fanno? Scusa, Ma, what? prendermi. Sei simpatico, almeno quello. Ah, ora che sono un maestro dei Souls, cosa vuoi farmi?
Sorry, but you left me no choice.
È praticamente un Souls-like il combattimento, cioè il combattimento dello Souls-like. Ah, già schiva, spazio. Ah! Dai, forza. Ah, c'è lo sto anche per bloccare. No. Lo sto per bloccare. Oh. Ah! Vediamo se... Oh. Ma che cazzo di scattoni fa? No.
Sorry.
Sorry, intanto l'hai ammazzato. Sorry.
No, please stop.
Oh, tipo... Ma consumo stamina anche... Ah, con un attacco consumo stamina. Oh.
Who are you?
Ma no, non dice vermin, dice sempre vermin. Io potenzialmente potrei far così. No, quasi. Così per esempio. Ok. Ma eviti no, no.
I mean you no harm. I need help. Die, you fucking leech.
Che culo.
Please, listen to me. I can't make any sense of this. Shut up, beast! Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's name? I'll do the rest of the job. Just leave me.
Ah, già. Però nel tutorial forse sì, sai. Ora che è successo? C'era il sole e ovviamente...
Feels like it's burning me to the bone.
Ah, devi fare la salute massima. La salute massima? E come... Non faccio recuperarla. Ah, già mi sta rigenerando la vita. Ah, no, ma normalmente non si rigenera almeno.
I need to find somewhere to hide.
Teniamo un
Let me
record.
go.
Forza, sono qua? Cioè,
I need to find shelter.
keep out. Giustamente entro.
Anybody there?
Da buon britannico che sono.
What is this place? The place seems abandoned. I should be safe enough here.
Non si vede un orologio. Ah no, una nota. Ah no, un quadro. Scherzavo, non è una nota. Era nel passato. No, perché prima c'era il live Luca e io probabilmente ho cominciato a streamare quanto? Mezz'ora fa?
Mary!
Non credo, non credo.
Mary!
Sì, dai, dici non ti fa il successo, non è che devi ricordarmelo.
I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
Quindi, qua assolutamente niente. Quindi sto orologio sembra così... No, ora no. Di che parla? Praticamente c'è sto qua che era un dottore, faceva roba. E qualcuno l'ha morso e praticamente lui mentre era vampiro ha morso sua sorella, quindi l'ha uccisa. Però non è che voleva e quindi ora deve cercare chi è.
Wait, this one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his
E
pockets.
appunto vedi, ora sembra...
Pockets? Are you serious?
Lo danno per morto.
Still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Gold watch.
Beautiful it is. We fancy to share the takings. I suppose we are undertakers. Now, give him an Eve.
E praticamente cosa che fa? Cioè, lui è anche un dottore, poi non mi ricordo dove va, e insomma parla con altri personaggi, no? E come vedi in alto a sinistra, sì, c'è un livello, in questo caso uno. E per aumentare di livello bisogna praticamente, come si dice, mordere, e non però i nemici, mordere gli NPC. E quindi, però ovviamente quando mordi gli NPC, tipo ce ne sono meno, una roba del genere, non mi ricordo, però tipo non conviene, ecco. Però sei più forte, quindi da una parte ti conviene, non c'è neanche il riflesso comunque.
Who goes there? Who's there? Are you referring to me?
Che quello era il vampiro che l'ha morso, non so chi sia, sembra un uomo.
No! No! I still have so much to accomplish. I still have so much left that needs doing.
Quindi dove che devo andare? Ok, qua c'è il tipetto. Posso prendere la pistola? Sa di sì. Ora True Blood che gioco è? True Blood. Sarà che sono uno zoomer. Non conosco nessun gioco che sia uscito praticamente più di 10 anni fa. Ah, un telefilm, ok.
Johnny, this one's lost. We need to leave. And now! No. There's time. I can save him. That's the enemy coming. The orders are to evacuate the hospital.
Vedi come vedi è un dottore sto qua.
Done. He'll live. And now what? We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing.
Allora su MTV. Boh,
No. It never got easy.
musaccio. Cioè, se lo dici te sarà vero.
This makes no sense. None of it. No sense at all. It's a nightmare. That's it. So be it. Rational thinking only.
Se era in italiano era più spooky, ma in realtà vai, i sottotitoli ci sono in italiano. Comunque non è un gioco. Cioè, nel senso, l'atmosfera è molto. È ancora vivo. Si è sparato, ma è ancora vivo.
This is absolute madness.
Madness.
With a real.
Ah già che mi prendono di evolvere e riposare, ok. Posso comprarne una? Ah, ok, lo so qua. Morso, scienza, corpo. Ah, cavolo. Quindi questo è praticamente, cioè, è l'Estus. Questo costo di punti esperienza ne ho 1100, però perché normalmente. Cioè li faccio uccidendo la gente praticamente. Quindi posso prendere foschia ombra. Lancia di sangue o artigli? Direi artigli. No, non dico che cosa cambia. Ok. Allora, l'ho premuto. Che cavolo.
That voice in my head. If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me what I am. I must find him to understand what I have become.
Quindi il. Oh, vampiri leggendari. Quali sono le persone, non le tre. Ah, aumenta la qualità del sangue, sblocco gli indizi. Vedi, quando uccido troppa gente, lo status scende e quando scende troppo diventano tutti ostili. Così per ora non ho praticamente niente. Ah, boh, posso andare più veloci. Ah, ok. Hanno busseto. Chi è?
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Io avrei aperto. Sono le fiamme. Ah, c'era un collezionabile. The Leech. Bloody Leech. Oh, si è bloccato il gioco. F. Potevano lasciare il gioco. No, l'avevo bloccato.
My head's spinning.
Ma Yeti spinning. E lo diceva anche Gesù.
I cannot enter.
Vediamo se è fatto bene il gioco.
It's locked.
C'è qualcosa. Ah, il paletto. Ma che me ne faccio del paletto? Per i vampiri questo. Eh sì, ok, ma per ora non mi serve a niente.
I'm still in Southwark.
Over there!
I must reach the...
Ah, anche per stordirlo. Andiamo avanti. Volete anche lavare il sangue? Ah sì, il sangue praticamente sarebbe il mana. Gli effetti sono quelli.
A strength I never knew I had.
Over there! There's one of
Nuova idea! Ah, come che va una torcia? Posso uccidere in colmo? Ah sì. Vediamo se lo prendo via. Mamma mia.
Fiber of my being is a fire. I feel like a child learning the limits of my body.
Questo qua è il big boy, però non dovrebbe aver... Ma già che ora lo schivata ancora più rotto. Prima era normale, qua è... Ah, e questa barra, la barra blu, cioè bianca, dei nemici è la barra tipo dello stordimento. Quando arriva a 0, posso... Posso morderli significa... Punti sangue per me. Però non con i DVD. Che è morto.
My reflexes. I'm not human anymore.
Sembra che Vampyr è carino, non è sto gran gioco, però è un Souls-like molto caruccio. Cioè nel senso non è ai livelli dei Souls, però... Comunque se non sbaglio ho preso punti anche per scoprire la zona, però si prendono punti seri. Mordendo la gente, però non tipo nemici. And help the brave lads! And help the brave lads.
My poor sister. If only I had controlled my
Che
needs.
poi comunque mi sa che sto gioco non ho doppiato in italiano
Someone will
perché...
pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us. It's locked, all right.
Ah, devo mangiare pure i
I
ratti.
have this thirst for blood.
Dicevo che già è praticamente non un indie, però ha un budget veramente bassissimo sto gioco.
Dizziness from the jump. I can now control it. I cannot enter.
No,
What will London have to say to me?
sbaglio, sto facendo la stessa strada di prima.
I've so many questions unanswered.
Ah no, no, ok. La strada mi sembrava letteralmente la stessa.
Have the very streets of London become a mausoleum? The man has been drained of all blood, but I can still smell the scent of it.
Ah, è un vampiro.
I follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant.
Eh sì, praticamente ho... Se si preme V...
Fresh blood. The smell is so strong.
si vedono le macchie di sangue. Praticamente come il senso di The Witcher. Cioè il senso di Witcher alla The Witcher è praticamente quello. Ah no, è fuoco. Cioè lo stile è praticamente quello. Oh, ho sbloccato un nascondiglio. C'è la roba. E qua si può creare farmaci. Anemia sepsi. Ah, se non me lo ricordavo, i sieri fa qualcosa. E si possono mettere le mod, no? Ecco qua, si possono... Prende il livello degli attrezzi, tipo come negli MMO, cioè normale, comune. Che però funziona, poi ci sono delle robe. Sì, ma non mi sanno, c'è un cazzo di pezzi. Vedi da coso, poi coso, viola e arancione sarebbe il migliore del migliore. Ah, boh, cosa qua? Ah, io posso anche riciclarlo, o lo vendo o lo riciclo. C'è da vedere quanto me lo vendono, che materiali sembrano interessanti. Su cui però mi sa che non riesco a upgradare niente. Sì, esatto. Questa scopa perché la posso... Cioè, questo modo di fare qualcosa. Non ne ho idea. Mi sa di no. Oh, non posso prenderlo? Ah, allora è necessario 5. Ah, che pirla non lo dice. Viola la salute, terza energia, sangue, assorbimento. Vedere questo per la stamina. Plop. Plop. Essendo un Souls-like la stamina è un po'... un po' un must, ecco. Quindi si può uscire. E si fa. Ah no, che babbo, ops. Qua devo andare, ops, dove stavo andando? Upsi. Segui le tracce dell'Asnasiso. Oh,
At last, a little life.
ok, vediamo sto
Good evening,
tipo.
sir. I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
Has anybody entered the bar?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last few hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
What's going on around here?
You must be new here.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman.
Who is...
It's,
Who is...
it's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone, blame the sewer dog, eh?
You make it sound like it...
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own darkness. We can all be monsters.
I'll leave you to your bottle, then.
My God, sir, you look like Jonah's wife.
No, thank you.
Oh, grab a chair.
Thank you. Hello, sir. May I...
And you're still...
I'll leave you to your bottle, then.
Sì, ma scusa, quel tipo, guarda come ha messo la telecamera.
Whoever he may be, the killer recently...
You again. What can I do for...
Where am I?
You're at my bar, sir, the Turquoise Turtle. The last ray of light in this dangerous part of town.
Aren't you scared?
Scared of what? All the bad shit happens out on the foggy streets. And I never go outside.
So you're open all night?
Yep. Figured people might need a place to rest in these dark...
Cos'era? Mi stanno facendo lavori qua a casa mia, stanno facendo le finestre nuove, quindi si sente... È per quello. Sì, è per quello. Se a volte muto il microfono a caso, è principalmente per quello. O perché sono i dialoghi, semplicemente.
Why is it going to be a long night?
You're probably new around here. Don't you know about the murders?
Tell me more about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been found. And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here. We're on our own. People die in these parts all the time, and no one cares.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
How long has he been here?
He rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
How long?
He rented the room a few days ago.
Who is this man?
Like a gentleman, I guess. Well-dressed, quite polite. A professor or something fancy like that. Always writing, reading notes.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And,
Yes?
no funny business. You hear me? This is a
Poor Jack. There's gotta be something
He didn't
can be done to
deserve
get out of
this.
this bullshit mess.
Hello, sir. Are you all right?
I don't know.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom then. He's more agreeable talking to strangers.
I just wanted to...
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers to take care of.
I only see one customer.
Oh. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I best check on them.
Scusa, c'era clienti, ma c'è solo io praticamente.
Where is everyone?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic,
Epidemia? Corona?
now all these terrible murders.
La mascherina dov'è?
Have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah, killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
Dove sono le mascherine?
What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning.
Fuck!
Drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say
The sewer dog. What's...
no one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
What is...
This is Tom's bar, a turquoise turtle. I'm the barmaid here, Sabrina, if you want to know.
Are you always...
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay.
You don't seem to have much business.
Well, most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
I'll leave then.
Ok, quindi sta qua, ha detto robe. Dov'è Tom? Ah, non è lui, mi sa. Vediamo. Ah, sì, sì, è lui. Stanchezza. Niente, qua non si sa. Se parla ancora che vuole.
Hello, sir.
You'll...
I'll leave...
I think I'm losing my mind. I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
Ok.
No place for you. Freewen has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
They're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain? You might as well come in, whoever you are.
L'hanno sgamato.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you? I mean you no harm, saith the vampire. Present yourself.
Con la croce.
I need a word. Anyone.
Well, that's something I can do for you. And who might you be?
Ah, mi sa quando c'è sta roba. Ah. Mi sa che quando ci tipo stare la Y vuol dire che le scelte contano.
I'm not sure that I know anymore.
Might I at least learn the reason of your presence?
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
You seem the expert. How would that be?
I have my secrets, as you have yours.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I am performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
I heard another voice, that of a...
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
And what exactly is this Brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
What have you uncovered concerning...
Cosa sa?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docks have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
A shadow, indeed. Yet I heard his voice in my head. There was a moment I believed I was mad.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
Lol.
I'll end him.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
Bon, quindi dobbiamo interrogare gli abitanti. I 3 cani che abitano qua.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means
Ok, ok.
somebody else came here tonight. Someone must know something.
Mi piace quando io giro la telecamera, si sminchia Gesù. Dove la tipa che so?
I have a few...
Well, if you must.
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight. And I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we
Che
had.
bello c'entra, ho parlato con lei.
Your fear, madam. Please tell me what's going on.
Lol.
It's Will. William Bishop.
William Bishop.
He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the cannon factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent.
Why keep it a secret?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates.
Mates.
But recently, well,
Oi, mate.
Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor.
Ah già, so che... Esatto. Si vedi sti qua hanno 2000 HP più o meno. 300. Cavolo, sicuro non hanno 2000. Ah, no, proprio di misurare 3. Ah. Ah.
Hello, sir.
And you're still ugly.
You're still ugly as fuck. Boh, parliamo un Tom.
Welcome back.
I can't say I have.
Hey, I told you.
Goodbye.
You again.
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
My friend.
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
Ah, mentito, lol, cake.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What do you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad
Sick
rash and
bastard.
old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
Damn it. I think drink no longer stirs me.
Che smemata. Lol.
He didn't deserve this.
There's gotta be something can be done to get out of this bullshit.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city.
Allora, sto qua. No,
Allora.
non è questo? Ah, qua,
The
ops, sono
body is
stupido.
still warm. This man has just been drained of blood.
Esamina la nota.
What's this? Some sort of note.
Ordini di Priwen. 30 ottobre, G. McCullum. Il porto, oggetto. Omicidio multiplo porto. Crediamo sia un'opera di una sanguisuga. Trovate quella bestia, eliminatela al più presto. Attenzione, secondo le ultime notizie si tratta di un vampiro molto violento. Prestate la massima attenzione, so che siamo corti uomini in questa città, ma non è un lavoro per reclute, se non sbaglio ci sono stati omicidi ogni sera, come sempre ispezionate prima i luoghi abbandonati con vecchie case scantinate famiglie davanti, eliminate con la sanguisuga, fratelli! No. Yikes! Yikes!
Era insanguinato, chiave del rifugio, pagina stampata,
Yikes!
esamina ferita.
Ah,
Poi è
This
ferito.
man was armed. He tried to
Che
defend
somiglia.
himself. This
Vediamo.
corpse has been dried of its blood.
Orbo.
Ma che?
Cos'è?
Dove una bar?
Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
Quindi smemo. Ah, smemo, ok. Ok, addirittura vedo i pazzi. Cioè, sta vita di merda è pure un Volak. Pensati. Votate fi. Lesi. Oh. Oh, rip.
Che ha visto?
This one is a vermin. Non avevo... Allora... Ma sbaglio o non l'ho equipaggiata la pistola?
Io borro.
Oh mio Dio, non l'ho equipaggiata. G. G. Ah, non ho colpi. Come si faceva a cambiare? Ok.
I'm cold. There's nothing here. Look at it. Vicious bug. The leech's teeth. Oh Christ! Murdering bastard! Watch yourselves! There's one of them!
This one is a vermin. Quindi non uso il sangue, però mi curo. Diciamo alla fine del gioco, sì. Vado sul sangue. E down. Ah, get down. Quella frase divertentissima che a me fa un sacco ridere, ovviamente. Ah, voglio dire dove sei. Ah, get down, get down. Peccato che il morso non faccia praticamente danni.
Per qualche motivo il canale stream ti sta piacendo. Allora lascia quel follow per ricevere un meme non divertente da parte di Pianto che ancora non ha dato a nessuno. Quindi lui è pure un clickbaiter.
Yikes.
Quindi è un truffatore, togliete il follow e mettete a Dogino27 Dave Darko e Luca Cavallo.
Yikes. Fare l'upgrade. Tan 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 tan. Peccato che il modello rimanga lo stesso, praticamente. Ah, get down. Polo no, porto nord.
The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
Fa così danni una falce. Ciao Beppe. Non mi ricordo come si fa a switchare.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
Must have more. Oh dear God.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Tu sai chi sono, non sai chi sono. Ah, quindi è molto vulnerabile a... Ma che è sta roba? E se uso... Ah, dovrebbe essere tipo il... H difesa? Oddio. In realtà questa parte l'ho già fatto, non so. Ah, so funny. Tra l'altro faccio 69 di danno, è esilarante. Andiamo al 208. Ah, il danno totale. Tra l'altro consumo veramente tanta. Ah, bastava, ok. È ancora vivo? Oh sì.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
We knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Eccolo la tipa. È ancora vivo.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me?
Like me.
Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
Oi, mate.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders.
Eccolo il pazzo.
Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed this drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
Ok, quindi sono uno scampione. Ok, va bene.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Sì, sembra un po' una versione pippa di vampiro.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it. I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again, from a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
E quindi ora è finito il tutorial, il frame ovviamente. Dio buono, sto morendo un sacco i frame. In realtà non così tanto.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the source of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard!
You bastard!
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Check up medico.
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry.
Sorry!
Me guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist
Mr.
you to
Cock.
a better place. Not tonight. Not like this. I
Not
will
like
not
this.
Take another life.
Did I black out?
Perché non sei riuscito che è un bordello. Può essere un bad boy, però no. Col sangue ci sono più vampiri, più nemici.
For the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
Sì, sì, qualcuno lo uccido, però sto quartiere la lascio vuoto. Allora, tre quartieri voglio lasciarli bene.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first.
Madonna che male alle mani.
And Mr. Ham,
I gave him a sedative to...
Stavo tipo mettendo il cartello.
what kind?
Well, you accepted the job from him.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me.
Lei era 2000.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Non era tipo il leader di un posto. Ah, ricordavo bene allora. Cerchia sociale, il porto. Stabile, grave, critico, ostile. Devo abbassare tutto. È già tutto basso. Sono basse texture allora. Che è questo?
Vedere quanto danno hai fatto.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has...
Dopo guardo quanto danno ho fatto.
I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but...
Corona?
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion.
Personali.
What can you tell me about...
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation?
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you...
Some are really good.
Tell me more about...
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
Goodbye, Good evening, nurse. I'm
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke...
Did he really?
All members of staff have all...
I see. What?
You must know, blood...
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Goodbye. Good evening, Nurse Brent.
Good evening, Doctor.
How are...
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but...
An invisible enemy?
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
I'm not familiar with all this.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them? Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Is there...
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Mano, mano. Sì, Luca, mano, mano.
Sì, Luca, mano, mano.
Quant'è? 5? Ah, minchia, 3000 di sangue.
Thank you for your
Ma io dalla scuola ho fatto anche più strada di te. Perché io ho dovuto andare in cortile, fare tutta la strada della campo atletica.
Vabbè, niente. O no? Sì, sì.
I'm not
brilliant, but
most...
it would...
No, no.
Goodbye.
Però se non sbaglio, dove cazzo è Tippets? Dove cazzo è Tippets? È scomparso. Oh, c'è un Nibba.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. John.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance
Grazie.
driver for this shit
Nessuno però tutti hanno detto sì, ce ne frega tanto per non fare lezione, però vabbè.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed.
Praticamente c'era sto qua.
My mind.
Cioè, sto qua che stavano in invadito, io ho detto ciao,
Well,
sto
I'm
qua
no
dentro.
doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Un nero che vende le armi.
Wise choice, Doctor.
Mi chiedo il perché. Strano. 14, ma sì, dai. Vabbè.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Quanto ha? 2.
Scuola c'è.
Do you need any?
I'm fine, Doc.
Scuola c'è.
Physically, at least. But I would give everything to be in a better place right now.
Noi l'abbiamo
Ah, ok. La sua vita a Londra.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful.
Fucking awful, mate. Trabandarmi, nero.
Smuggling weapons through the hospital.
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Effetti.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since...
Allora andiamo in palestra a cantarci.
I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Anno tu vuoi fare sta roba. Anno tanto ci
It
sarebbe
sounds like
sta
things
roba.
have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here.
Come
I
era?
escaped from the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
Come?
An infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals.
Ok. Le personali, niente. La sua vita a Londra, niente.
Oh, ma cosa sono questi?
Quindi Nibba. Ok, ha perso il portafoglio. E qua c'era un'altra tipa, mi sa.
Good evening.
Guarda che stare con Alessio ti stai
Ah, ecco il pezzo. Mini di pezzo. No, come non posso chiedergli presi in spacca di lavoro? Ah, ecco.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
Parli con un tossico.
We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Domani ce ne sarà già un altro, quindi.
Preoccupata la pazza.
Flanagan is worried about you.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
Va là.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Nice. Allora, credo di aver fatto la città giusta. Magari entriamo, così almeno gli FPS. Oh, città, te. Vita salvata e secondo me di compa inferto dalle epidemie influenze volontari fanno la differenza.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Sembra che yep. E questo è quello smart, mi sa.
Sir, I'm Dr. Reed.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard.
Does my arrival...
Let us just say that I don't particularly...
Come mai? Cazzo vuole sto stronzo?
Do you need my...
Not at all.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive.
Motive what?
Fame? Or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Salvato molte vite, sapere ho salvato molte vite.
My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see, that is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
I don't know.
I don't question.
And what? Be careful.
I only.
This is ridiculous.
Okay.
It seems you have bad memories of this.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as...
We can at least agree. It seems you have bad...
I refuse to see this industrial...
We can at least agree on...
Infatti mi odia sto qua.
If you have a problem, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone to advise.
Ah, infatti, ora ha ragione.
Aveva raccontato che c'ha tipo, mi sembra un cane,
I know
due
we've
gatti.
mentioned it before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Merda. E poi, questa cosa mi ha sconvolto.
Gelosia, non può farla con bene, questo è un po' da bezzotti.
No, che schifo, cioè, no, mi piace.
No, non è necessaria.
For such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we
Oh.
And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a
Arrivato a Napoli. Però,
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness.
sarà una squadra serie.
I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Thank you.
Reads me like a book. I'll never... Couldn't keep anything from her.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Falling apart. What can I do for you?
Thank you, Nurse. Good evening, Doctor.
Dr. Reed. I am Thoreau Strickland. Dr.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science. Please, could you tell...
I'm a great admirer of your...
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method.
I'd rather not talk about it.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me.
What made you choose...
I'm not ashamed to admit you and you...
You will obtain nothing from me, but...
Oh, I was not flattering you, sir. Not at all. Just clumsily expressing my...
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about...
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with it?
Well, yes, maybe.
Do you want me to...
Oh no, Dr. Reed.
I see. Goodbye. Good evening.
And good
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Is there anything else that...
I'm all right. Considering the state of this place, I should consider myself lucky, I guess.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
How could your
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Are you another? Tell what? Goodbye for now.
Sweet girl. Reads me like a book. Never could keep anything from her.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Come now, we can handle this.
Good evening, miss. I'm
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Do you require my...
I have no need for your...
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I'm assuming you must be a...
It's only a cover to hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not...
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal, but do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean,
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark. Good evening, sir.
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed.
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Soldier, do you need...
I'm fine. Just do something for this pain.
How close are you to Miss Hawcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof.
So do you let her bite you?
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Where were you stationed, sir?
I really don't want...
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How is your stay with her?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're...
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Goodbye.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Good evening, Miss Howard.
I need blood, Doctor.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Would you say...
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
Do you plan to...
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
I'll leave you.
It's locked, all right. Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding?
Good evening. I'm
always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian.
What do you mean?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
A pawnbroker?
Yes, sir. All kind of...
Who comes here to try?
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people. What with the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Are you afraid, or...
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself. How did you get... After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Have we met?
I don't think so.
When we first talked, you said you were...
Funny story, sir. You're sick.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning.
Do you need medical...
I'm feeling all right.
Please show.
Of course. It's just...
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated.
Good.
Ma le sopracciglia dove sono finite? Ah, eccole.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Dr. Reed.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you.
You must...
Sorry.
How it...
Not well.
Why does Milton
I don't know.
What?
Milton's not the kind...
How long?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell.
I don't like your attitude, Nurse Hawkins. Pessimism can be as lethal as the epidemic in times like these.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
Pepper.
Nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
But you're doing something important here. For all the patients who need your help.
We save lives, sure. Each time we send a cured patient home, it's a relief beyond words. But since the epidemic, I feel so powerless.
Do you need...
I'm fine.
Good. It's locked, all right. Good evening, Mr. Hampton.
Dr. Reed, is it?
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the...
You remained...
Thank you, Doctor.
How did you...
I had received alarming... Would... I'm...
People...
Help.
Who...
No. What is...
Who leads...
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Dooth Digby.
What do you do?
No.
Why didn't you use your...
That's a very strange question.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say.
How do you... You're in... Have you...
No.
You never... Goodbye, Mr. Ham.
I have wasted too much energy for so little result.
Not now. Please come back later.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. The flower's dying. It needs water. William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Hurry now, Doctor. It's freezing here.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Nurse, this room is off limits, and I'd prefer to keep it that way. Make sure the rest of the staff are so informed.
Of course, Doctor. And what about the antiseptics? Or do I inform the staff that you're too busy?
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first.
It's the large building behind the hospital.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
Nurse.
No.
Good.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadigan fellow.
Good evening.
Good
Do you know that Nurse Hawkins is thinking of leaving the hospital?
That's not a surprise. We've talked about it already.
Does it not bother you?
Sometimes I think she may be right. We should run away while we can. Question is, where can we go? Where is it safe?
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed. Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox.
This place is full of sickness.
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally. But don't push your...
Don't play the innocent with me.
You're lucky.
This place...
I will see. Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
What did he want?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favor.
Perhaps you're right. Maybe only the strongest will survive in these dark times.
If there must be only one, in the end, make no mistake, I'll be the winner.
How is your hospital?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. As long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other...
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
What's wrong with...
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory...
I'll leave you.
Jesus, I've never seen so many people dying at the same time.
Still standing after this epidemic. There's good reason to be proud.
Good evening, Nurse Brennan.
Good evening, Doc.
Good...
Hey, Doc.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I could say for most folks.
And who are you, then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
I'll leave.
When I get back, I'll have a word with Tom. He's really pissed me off this time.
Please, sir. I need help back.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but... well, we had a disagreement.
How long have...
I can't go there.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survive the trenches suffer from musophobia. What can you tell...
His name is Oswald Thatcher.
Where...
He went down by the canal.
What can you...
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir.
This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital.
I have all the info...
Thank you.
It's locked. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
No.
Really? Why?
I don't want to talk.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here.
Yes.
Could you at least...
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
How painful.
So painful, I'd rather not.
I'm sure you realize it.
Not really.
I see.
Yes, maybe.
How...
So
I'll let... Good evening,
I'm okay.
Tell me.
I don't want to...
I have to go...
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening, madam.
It's my son who needs you.
I'm Dr. John...
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of...
Do you require...
I have other...
What can you...
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
May I ask if...
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
What do you think of your...
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first...
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for...
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Goodbye.
Good evening.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
This hospital seems to be falling apart.
Good evening, sir.
But
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Why? Goodbye.
All your secrets to me, even the darkest thoughts in your heart.
My blood and soul, they belong to you.
Good evening, Milk.
Good evening.
Good evening.
good evening.
Goodbye.
Scour voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
LOL.